long time no see. Today I'm here with Winter, the webkinz Icy Mist Leopard, and it's another custom webkinz video finally! I've been making customs over the last year. I just haven't been filming them because I haven't had an area specifically to work with them, and it was kind of hard to film in my living room. But I have my old computer desk and I'm going to try and start sewing there, so I decided it's about time I made another video. So today I will be taking this fabric with some help from Panda here and turning them into the webkinz snowy googles. So let's get to it. Very first thing I did was take apart my regular googles to trace the pattern. I took my seam ripper and took out the original stitches so I would have a better idea of what the individual shapes looked like. Finding the thread was a bit of a challenge in some areas since the stringy fur was the same color. Plus, working around the tush tag wasn't easy either. But I managed not to totally destroy the plush. Once I had the back seam taken out, I traced the side and belly pieces onto a piece of paper. Then I traced the bill and foot, giving a little extra space for the seam allowance, making sure to mark which direction the fuzzy part of the fabric brushed down, aka the nap. Then I cut out the pattern pieces and traced them onto the fabric. Now onto the dyeing process. The snowy googles has a gradient on its side and belly, and I wanted to replicate that by dyeing the bottom of the fabric pink. My mom helped me with this part since I had never dyed fabric before, and doing new things makes me a bit anxious. On the right you can see a blue dye bath. That one's for a different project I did. As I was gathering everything together to work on this project, I decided to do a spur-of-the-moment iceberg bear. It turned out pretty nicely. After 15 minutes in the dye bath, I dipped over the next portion of the fabric into the dye. Left that in there for 7 minutes and splashed the tip of the fabric in. After that, it was time to see how it turned out. Which was not at all. There is some color, but it was not at all what I wanted. So back into the dye bath it went, but this time without the rubber bands. Minutes later and there was some color, which quickly ran out when I washed the fabric. It looked like somebody had been murdered. Determined to get it right, I cut out the specific pieces in hopes that less fabric would allow the dye to work better. We also added a bit of vinegar. And into the dye bath they go. Third time's the charm, right? I repeated the process again, and after about 20 minutes it was time to see the final result.
And no, it didn't turn out. There was a faint gradient, but it didn't show up camera at all. I considered giving up, and for a while I had the pieces sitting on my desk, not sure what to do with them. But I ordered some polyester-specific pink dye for another project, and decided to give it one last chance. This time around, I used the stovetop method, which makes the dye bath much hotter and the temperature more consistent. Something that is very important when dyeing synthetic fabric, which I did not know when I started this project. After 5 minutes, I dipped the middle part into the dye. Three minutes later, I went to splash the top bit, and the entire piece fell in. The piece turned out fine though, and it was time to rinse and see how they all turned out. Much, much better. I was so happy when I saw how perfect the color was. It was definitely worth all that work. They turned out so beautiful and had a pretty nice gradient too. Now that the hard part was over, it was finally time to start sewing. Using a washable marker, I traced then cut the bill and feet out. Oops, I traced too many feet. I've been making too many four-legged critters. Then I paired the 1 foot's pieces together and backstitched around the edges, leaving one end open for turning. Backstitching is a pretty cool stitch, but I don't know how to explain it with words, so here's a nice picture I found on the internet. Hopefully it will work to explain what I was doing. Repeat that for the other foot and bill. Then I top stitched the toe lines onto the feet. And the edges around the bill. I marked out where I wanted the line to be with washable marker, and then washed it away afterwards with a damp cloth. Next, I sewed the dart onto the bottom piece, making sure to try and blend the seam at the end. I cut a teeny hole and insert the eyes, using my regular googles as a placement guide. The washers that came with the eyes didn't fit for some reason, so I had to grab a different one from my bag of eyes. Now to attach the feet. I used a large straight stitch to attach the feet, also known as a basting stitch, since I will be going back over this area when I attach the body pieces. After that was done, it was finally time to start assembling the body. I carefully lined up and pinned the first side piece to the belly. Then I backstitched them together. Repeat for the other side. Now it's time for the back. I pinned the sides together and sewed them together, leaving a hole to turn the plush right side out when it's done. Then I stuck the bill inside the mouth and attached it to the plush. You do something similar to this when attaching the bottoms to paws. Time to see how it looks. Oh, look at him. Oh, just look at him. Now all sewn, it's time to stuff the plush. And that looks wonky. Better fix that real quick. There, all better. Back to stuffing. Before sewing it closed, I went and top stitched the nose onto the bill. I tried to give it eyebrows, but it ended up looking like it was gonna murder someone. So I scrapped those. I'll get them right one day. But for now, it's time to close the plush. This part was a bit challenging. I wasn't exactly sure how to make it look like snow, but I started out by cutting a piece of white fleece. Once they were all on there, I ladder stitched them to the plush, starting with the smallest pieces. Ladder stitching is really nice for closing holes and attaching pieces to the finished plushies. The stitches disappear into the fabric, making it so you can't see the thread afterwards, which gives it a nice finished look. And then it was complete. It turned out so well worth all the effort put into it, especially for that gradient. I was so glad I was able to transfer so many details of the virtual design onto this little dude. It's just so precious, and its face is so derpy, I just adore it.
Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this and that you like the way I chose to do this video. It was an experiment and hopefully it goes well. And I will hopefully be seeing you soon with more custom Webkinz videos because I really like to make the custom Webkinz and I know you guys really like to watch the videos and I want to make you guys happy. So once again, thank you all so much for watching and I will see you in the next video.